This summer I was so lucky to get a free trip to Belgium with one of my closest friends, especially during the year that I didn't have the money to go on holiday. And of course I was really looking forward to it. But traveling with chronic illness starts way before the trip. We knew it was going to be hot that first week of August. It was like high 20s, low 30s. So obviously I had to be very aware of packing for what my body needs. That included cute but comfy weather appropriate attire, meds obviously, a body pillow for traveling in the car because we were road tripping, portable stick-on heat packs because if I took my heat pad I would have overheated, so they were just small enough to sort out an affected area, and of course my walking stick. I would have taken more mobility aids, but it is hard to travel with them. And also, whilst packing, I decided to do a glow-up day, a self-care day. I need to look actually kind of human before I go on holiday day. And surprisingly, it may have taken a bit more out of me than I thought it would. I always underestimate it, every time. And before even leaving for Belgium, I also had to take a train down to Derby with all of my crap to stay at my friend's house overnight so we could get up stupid early to get going. It's 7 minutes to 6 in the morning. I don't usually see this time, but we're going to Belgium. The journey itself is something people often discount. It's not something people factor in. But getting up early, sitting in a car for hours on end, dealing with heat. I am lucky we had really good aircon in that car. Being out of the normal environment that you can control can really affect a chronically ill person. Plus, my body screams at me if I'm upright for too long. So, add in that, I was in agony by the time we got there and very tired. Something that also really didn't help was we took the Euro Channel tunnel, the train. That's fine. I don't mind a train, but our carriage didn't have any aircon, so by the time we got to France, I was feeling so faint and nauseous. We have arrived. It is... damn, what time is it? It is 20 past 5. We are here. Und Joyce. Und Az. We're in Belgium. It is about 10 o'clock at night here, which means it's about 9 at home. I am knackered. The house is gorgeous and I can't wait to go in the pool. But for tonight, we're just gonna chill, go get some sleep that is much needed. My sit bones hurt so much from being in the car for so long. Worth it though. I do love it here. I love the language. I haven't learnt it, which I probably should have, but I just love hearing it. It's so nice. Tomorrow we're gonna have a chill day before we go out, and I mean out. So hopefully I don't break. We'll see. With chronic illness, being on holiday doesn't magically make you suffer less. It's not like we can leave our failing bodies at home. They unfortunately have to come with us. I have tapped out early because that's what I need, but everything else is still out and having fun. But I needed to show you where we're staying tonight. Dining room is on a plinth. Got a little sofa. There's a bed in here. Just around the corner, there's a little kitchenette. There's a little balcony through that door. But where I will be sleeping is here. It is up so many stairs. This is our view. I'm gonna unwind for a little while and probably go to sleep. Other people will be a lot later than me, and that's fine. That's why I have the separate bedroom. I let my friend plan the itinerary because I knew she wanted to see family and friends, and you know, it was her trip really. I would like to think that I'm quite easy. But my one stipulation was that we do one day doing, one day off. One day doing, one day off. And of course that didn't quite go as planned. Morning. It was so hot in here. We're on the, I want to say 3rd floor of these apartments, which is the top floor, and the steps are very steep, so it's pretty high up. I could barely sleep. I hurt a fair bit today. But I've got to look around my backpack for a little while. I'm determined for it to be a good day, but I know we're going to a place called Quetzal's for breakfast, brunch, and I know I'm going out for a meal tonight, which I don't want to do, but I got to. I could really do with the day just doing nothing, but it's not the plan. One thing a lot of able-bodied people don't get, no matter how well-intentioned they are, socializing, being uncomfortable, traveling, heat, can all have a toll. This is by no way a criticism. Many of these things don't affect able-bodied people, so it's not something they have to think about. And of course, I could have been more vocal about my needs, but I also wanted to do and experience things, and I didn't want to miss out and have my condition get in the way. One of the things I was most looking forward to in this trip was right near the end, and it was visiting a spa. And of course, the spa in Spa. On paper, sounds so relaxing. And it was. But relaxing activities don't always equal rest if you're chronically ill. I still had to travel 2 hours, get changed, move around unaided, spend energy, and that was on top of the energy debt that I had already accrued throughout the week. Today we went to the spa, and it was lovely. I would love to have stayed like all day, but we were there for about 3 hours. We had something to eat. We are staying in an apartment. I can't be asked to show you. I'm really tired today. Pretty achy. I want my bed. I love my bed. I am losing energy as we speak. I don't know if it was all that I'd already done and my body simply gave up, or if the spa relaxed me enough to make my body finally let go of control, but I slept for 13 hours. As much as I loved the Therm de Spa experience, I was also really excited to go explore Spa Town and French Belgium. We were mostly in Dutch Belgium for the majority of the holiday. That day we were meant to be going to French Belgium, do the spa, etc. But I missed it. My body officially crashed. And what I thought would be like a few minutes of like quick shut eye turned into a lot longer. Like my friend was prodding me going, "Are you alive? Here's a drink, there's some snacks, we're going out. But you're dead, so you stay here." I could barely move. I didn't eat or drink during that time. I don't even think I went to the toilet. Like I literally just crashed. I think one of the hardest things about traveling with chronic illness, or just having a chronic illness in general, is the FOMO. You don't want your illness to dictate your trip or your life. You don't want to be the one saying, "Sorry, I can't do that," all the time. And when you're traveling, you don't want to waste any time. You're there for a certain amount of time and you want to experience it to the fullest. But it turns out, your body doesn't care when you're chronically ill. It has the same limits regardless of where you are in the world. By the end of the week, I was more than ready to go home. As lovely as the trip was, and it really was, I was ready to get back to my own bed, which is Tempur-Pedic, my love of my life, my own environment, and all of my creature comforts. By that I do sort of mean Archie and Georgie, but also my weighted blanket. Of course, we had to take the trek back through France and to the Channel Tunnel and through the UK, but luckily for us, there were massive delays for the train. We set off at like 11:30 this morning. It was a long time at the Eurotunnel, and it is now just after 9 p.m. We are tired. We are an hour away from where we're staying tonight. However, one little perk of being disabled is that sometimes you get to skip queues. So once we finally got near the train, queuing up to go on, we were the first on and the first off, and we got to speed away. It was great. So as much as it sucks to have chronic illness and disabilities, it's actually pretty good every now and again. This last part isn't usually in your traditional travel vlog, and that is recovery. Honestly, I usually need a holiday after my holiday. It was the same for Mallorca, it was the same for Rhodes, and it was the same for Belgium. When you have chronic illness, the fatigue from travelling and everything you have done comes home with you. Let's be honest, it took me a few days of recovery to even unpack. And I think the most productive thing I did during that first half a week was shower. And that's okay. I think what this trip has shown me, and probably the subsequent trips that I have taken as well, is that travelling with chronic illness isn't necessarily about stopping myself from doing things. It's about accepting that the same trip can demand more of you than it can someone else. I still went to Belgium. I still did things. I still had a good time. But I also got tired. Needed substantial recovery time. Didn't always manage to do what was planned. And had to deal with the consequences of pushing myself. That's not failing at travelling though. It's just travelling with chronic illness.